Good everyone, Organized Video, and today we have a sub request by a guy named MeetTheHoovy. I think that's how it's meant to be. I'm fairly certain I know his original account. I'm pretty certain this was the British Empire, but he's changed his name that many times it's making Taylor Swift's relationship status look rather bleak in comparison, but jokes aside about that, that's one of my favourite jokes, by the way. And today he's requested the F4U-1D Corsair. Now, this aircraft has recently gone, well, I say recently, it's been out like it for like a month or two now, has gone down to 3.3. Now, with the most recent performance of obviously the earlier Corsairs that I've felt lately, I can agree with that, but back when this thing was actually feeling okay, this aircraft does not need to sit at 3.3. The main reason for this is because I see a lot of 1D players screwing up, to put it simply. They rush in, they don't really do anything, and they just die, to put it simply. They really just balls up all the time. And the thing is that although I don't really play the F4U-1D because I have no real reason to, if I'm going to use a rank 3 aircraft for grinding, I'm either going to use a Cobra, a King Cobra, or I'm using a Helldiver. I just don't really play Corsairs. Obviously, with this thing now being at 3.3, this can also give me a chance to actually fly the thing at 3.3 and see how it feels. Now in arcade, this thing is at 3.0, which, I mean, you can sort of understand that because they're even more retarded there. But 3.3? I don't know what to think, really. But with my most recent impressions of the F4U Corsair lately, the earlier ones, I'm hoping this thing will be better than the A, because the A flies like a pig at the moment. So it's been a while since I've flown a 1D in AirRB, and to be honest, I really don't know the difference between the A and the D, I'll be brutally honest. So if anyone knows, please do let me know. Obviously, this thing does carry better ordnance, I do know that for certain, but otherwise I really don't know the difference. So if you do happen to know, please do let me know. So let's jump into it and let's see what we can get up to really with the F4U-1D. I don't actually remember the last time I flew this thing in ARB. It's certainly been a long time. Like this model at least, not the 1A. The 1A I've flown recently. Because me and Hairy Feet have come to the conclusion that the 1A has been kicked to the ground in terms of a nerf, which is just great. And with the recent Porkies sales that happened a couple of months ago now, yeah, this is going to be probably an enemy team filled with Porkies. And as good as a Corsair is, I'd rather be in a Porkies, I'll be brutally honest. But at least we get decent guns, and obviously we do have H4 rockets and two 1000 Pandas should we need them. And looks like we are top dog. I will take that for certain. However, that does not always mean that we're going to kick ass, because, well, Joe doesn't really fly the 1D, I'll tell you right now. I refer to this thing as the retarded cousin of the twins, the two P-47s that I use in arcade. I refer to this thing as Cletus, the retarded cousin. This thing doesn't sound very loud, so I'm just going to turn it up a little bit. Right, so let's have a look at the team list then. So we've got a few Corsairs, we've got J20. Why does it sound like someone's about to take my prop off? There we go. Don't know why the J20's here, that thing is a 2-0. But we've got decent ping, so 70-ish ping, 60 ping, so our guns are going to work just fine. And by the way, for those of you that are new around here, to point out what the Eagle Head represents, that used to be what I flew by. If you saw a Corsair or P-47 or a P-51 with the Eagle Head, that was me. I always flew with it on the tail. The only times I couldn't put it on the tail was if there was a marking or a aircraft like for example the marking of this Corsair near the tail. Obviously the American decal and the American star. If that was on the vertical stabilizer, I would not put a decal there. I'd put it either on the nose or just near the pilot. That's the way I did things. That's just how I prefer to do it, and well, it was my way. Like, I wanted to do it my personal way. So, in terms of climb, it doesn't climb too badly. I mean, it's a Corsair. These things climb pretty averagely. The late ones climb alright, but obviously the German aircraft climb pretty well as well. But since we're fighting the Russians, the higher we go, the more beneficial it's going to be for us. So it looks like we've got a squad of 4, a squad of 2, and a squad of 3. And then the enemy team has a squad of 2. So we've got a numbers advantage in terms of people likely on comms. Obviously, I'm flying on my own because, well, that's just how Joe rolls. I prefer flying on my own. I mean, I will squad up with subscribers and stuff like that in the Discord server and things like that. So that's just how I am. I prefer to do things my way. As the old saying goes, my way or the highway. So let's have a look around and let's see if we can see anything. Because at the moment there normally tends to be bombers that rush this area. Here we are, a bit of flak coming up. Most likely an IL-2. I'm not bothered by that. That's not where the flak is, buddy. That's enemy ground forces. Trust me, you don't want to dive down after a single IL-2 because you'll be surprised how protective the Russians are of their ground attackers. It actually is rather surprising just how protective they actually are. So he's just killed a medium tank, so that's no problem. What about fighters? MiG-3, 14,000 feet. He's a little bit above me, but that's fine. We've got another IL-2 feasted on the light target, so he's probably either stock or maybe it's his second game or something, because you don't tend to get much in terms of mods after your first game. What have we got over here? That to me looks twin-engined. AR-2, Yak-1, I-16. I want to know what this dot is just off my prop, so that's what I want to know first. Because that AR-2 is being escorted by the MiG-3. I don't really want to play with the MiG, so, I mean I could, but I just want to know what that is, and I think that might be a Yak-4. That's my only concern. It's a Yak-2, even worse. So I'm going to level out, and I'm going to bring them towards this squad over here. I'd rather have team backup than fly on my own and get slaughtered. I have to admit that it feels nice to be back in the Corsair, but at the same time, look at the speed. This thing does not want to gain speed that well. Okay, we've got a leg 3, guaranteed vantage coffin, that's fine. Looks like he's going for the J21, and there's a large clusterfuck appearing over here, but they're mostly I-16s. That does not mean we cannot underestimate them though. So I'm going to make my way over here, because these guys are clearly getting their ass kicked. And as you can see, the J21 is smoking pretty badly, and we just lost the Corsair, so now there's 5 guys here. Great. But that's the thing, like, the team just keeps dogfighting I-16s. You don't dogfight I-16s in Corsairs. I mean, now that I've been whipping the balls off this thing, we're actually able to get into a position to actually engage. But obviously there's 5 of them, 1 of me, so we've got to make this decision wisely. Obviously, out of all the aircraft, I do actually want the Yak-1 first, and he's pulling it for a head-on. Of course he is. Okay, looks like we've got 6 Tango coming in now. Another I-16. See if I can bait him up. The most important target is that Yak, and obviously I want to keep my speed up, and I need to keep altitude above them. If I don't, I'm dead. I'm as good as dead. But obviously I've got to keep 6 aircraft under control here. It's very hard for me to do so. And I know some people are like, oh, I-16s aren't that dangerous. They can be. They are actually pretty dangerous aircraft. Well, that's 1. Kill number 1. Yeah, this Corsair flies better than the A. I'll tell you that right now. Right, this A-16 is pulling up. Let's see if we can get him to self-bait himself for one of these guys up here. This is what you call teamwork. Okay, looks like we've got a second I-16 pulling up. That's fine, I've got speed, they don't. I mean, not much speed, but I've still got speed. So now we'll pop the flaps. I'll start to bring the nose around. So that's a 27, I want that gone. So we'll set him on fire. Dodge you, that's a 28, that's going to be more important. There he goes. And now I'm not turning with him, I've got the speed on, I'm just going to keep on going. That's what we need to keep up. But this is what you do when you're flying a Corsair. You have to keep your speed up. If you turn with that I-16, you're as good as dead, and you're not used to the team alive. So once we've dealt with these I-16s, I want to deal with the lag or that yak. Right, they're going to a steep dive, and I know this thing has pretty bad rudder lock-up, so... What we go over there? Aisle 2. Never underestimate an Aisle 2 either. But obviously, since the I-16 is tail end Charlie, I do want the I-16 gone first. But the lag is pulling himself where I can get him, so I might as well try and get the lag. Crit, that looked important. Pretty bad shooting on my part, but I still managed to get a hit into that guy. The I-16, I think, has suffered engine damage, so that's where we're going to be able to turn the tide of this battle. Because it's just developed into a massive furball at this point. So the lag is more important, in my personal opinion. As good as an IL-2 is, if it's a shit pilot at the controls, it might as well not be there. Just watch out for G-lock. Give it a boost to the rudder whilst I sort that out. There he goes. And the team's all over that poor I-16. He's on fire. Obviously, if it don't burn, you get a turn. But of course, most players don't care. It looks like their own squaddy's trying to steal it now. But that is a pretty effective cleanup. So, there's just that IL-2. And there appears to be a guy on the runway, so I'm going to make my way towards him. But that is a pretty solid example of what this aircraft can do with a bit of knowledge. You saw there, I did not turn with those I-16s. I would have been dead. Those I-16s would and will have killed me. Now, I'm not sure what this aircraft is. I think this might be the AR-2. And there he goes. He went head on with the IL-2. Clever. Obviously, we've been whipping the balls off this aircraft for so long, the engine is actually starting to overheat. Now, this guy is on the airfield. I will let him take off. I'm not going to break the gentleman's code. If he wants to take off, he can take off. If he doesn't want to take off, he doesn't have to take off. Ow. On the positive side, the Corsair is pretty tanky, so we can afford to tank this AAA a little bit. Even though it is forward airfield. But well, I don't think this squad behind me has the same respect as I do. He had the choice to take off, or to land or take off, and he chose take off, so let's finish him off. Obviously now we've burned up our WEP, so... Critical hit. Trying to go for the gunner, so I can at least get a nice kill here. And... that is Fuego. Ace of the day, and of course I ain't flown in a long time. But I've been flying the 1A, and it flies very similar to the 1A, it just feels better. So that is GG. That was a great game. And of course a little bit of team killing. I'm just going to put an oof, because well, they chose to team kill. He's just there like, bruh, I don't blame him, but that is a cracking game in a Corsair. I'm just going to drop the throttle to 80, because well, my pilot still has to get this thing home at some point. So... I think, was he pointing that towards me? I'm not sure, but who got the ace, pal, and who's dead and who's not? Not a bad result. I think we might have a bit of fan mail, so no matter. But that is not a bad result. That is how you fly a Corsair, and well, this is an incredible aircraft. If you haven't flown a Corsair, I highly recommend giving them a go. So meet the Hoovy. I hope this fulfilled your request, because well, I haven't flown this thing in a while, but it's a great plane. So just see how it is for you. But anyway, I'm going to let you guys off. I hope you enjoyed today's sub request by Meet the Hoovy for the F4U-1D, and I will see you all on the next one. I bet that's going to be some fan mail though. See you later.